Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar, the Ask an Expert Winter Preparedness event. Before we get started, I just want to review a few technical items. At the bottom of the Zoom viewing screen, you will see audio settings, interpretation, closed captions, chat, and Q&A. Click on the audio settings to ensure your preferred audio device is selected in the Select a Speaker section to listen to the audio of today's event. Closed captioning is also enabled in today's event. Click the caption button in your Zoom viewing window to show them. We have Hindi, Mandarin, and Spanish interpretation available today. To listen to the audio of the event in your preferred language, click on the interpretation button in your bottom menu, then select the language you would like to hear. To hear the interpreted language only, click Mute Original Audio. There will be a live Q&A portion during today's event. Please use the Q&A function to input any questions you may have throughout. We will address as many questions as possible during the Q&A portion. Lastly, a couple other things to note. All participant audio is set to listen only, and this event is being recorded. And without further delay, I'll now hand it over to Zach Kaija.
Thank you and welcome to today's Winter Preparedness Ask an Expert event. I'll be going over a few items today and we're happy you're here and thank you for joining us. So today we're going to highlight our agenda with a quick safety moment. We'll go over some news to know, our team introductions. We'll be giving away a prize today and a program overview with some thoughtful insight, as well as a Q&A at the end with today's panelists. And lastly, our winners will be contacted and a post-event survey will be given out. Next slide. So here at PSE, we take safety very seriously, and we like to start all of our meetings and presentations with a safety moment. So with winter coming right around the corner, there's a few quick tips for our seniors. Some of those include scheduling and a maintenance for furnaces and fireplaces to ensure they are safe to use. It's also important to change those filters out regularly. Keep all your heat sources and vents clear of clutter. It's important to never leave your portable heaters unattended. Keep your fire extinguishers on hand and near heat sources. It's also important to check your batteries and your portable radios, flashlights, smoke alarm, and carbon monoxide detectors. And make sure that those smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors are installed and working on every floor of your home. It's also important that you put an entry or garage lights on a timer or light sensor so they come on as soon as it gets dark out each day, as it tends to get darker earlier now. Keep the home well lit by installing the maximum watt bulbs indicated as well. And next slide, please. So some news to know, actually, this December, PSE is going to be launching our website out in multiple languages, specifically in Hindi, Mandarin, and Spanish. So good to know. Next slide. And I'll introduce ourselves. I'll start off with myself. My name is Zach Kaya. I'm an outreach coordinator here at Puget Sound Energy, and I specialize in going over our products and services with our customers. And Megan?
Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Lacey, and I'm the program manager for the residential weatherization, windows, and space heat programs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenna Haskins. I'm the program manager for PSE's residential retail lighting program.
Hello, my name is Caleb Miller. I'm one of the senior energy advisors in the energy efficiency program.
All right, next slide. And I'm sure this is what you're all here for, the prizes. So we'll have 3 winners will receive a $100 credit to pse.com/marketplace. Our winners will be contacted November 18th, so tomorrow, and Yeah, it's a great opportunity. There'll be a chance for you to use the $100 towards a thermostat, some lighting, interior, exterior lighting, yeah, or LED fixtures. So next slide. We'll start off with a poll question, and the language preference for today, if everyone could choose what they're here for, if it's English, Hindi, Mandarin, or Spanish. And we'll let those results come in here and see what the preferred language is for the day. So it looks like 99% of the folks are here in English, with 1% of our folks attending in Mandarin, which is great. And with that, we'll start off with some of our real estate outreach case study that we have gone through here. If you could go to the next slide, then I'll also introduce myself again, Zach Kaya, Outreach Coordinator here. And yeah, next slide, please. So this case study came to us. It's a year-long case study, but we're kind of just going over it for the winter time too, if there was any home improvement upgrades. We always understand that there's a need for buyers and sellers that are always looking to improve comfort in their home. So we work with local real estate agents and brokerages. Right now, we've had about 200 impressions and contacted 20 agencies through a variety of ways, including email, phone, and in-person meetings. And this one pager was shared with the agents via their social media pages or stopping by and having them handed out. We understand that buyers and sellers, are looking to improve their homes at certain times, specifically when they're selling or buying. So if you could go to the next slide, and we can kind of highlight some of those upgrades that we offer through PSE, such as a water heater, a clothes washer, whether you're looking to upgrade your lighting or air sealing or a ductless heat pump, we've got those rebates. So yeah, and with that, if you could go to the next slide, and I will hand it off to Megan.
Alrighty, well, hello again, everyone. Again, I'm Megan Lacey. So we're gonna dive right into some weatherization, windows, and space heat fun facts and information about our rebate program. So there might be some other weatherization measures you're aware of, such as weather stripping or thermal blackout curtains, and those can certainly help keep warm or cold air inside your home. However, this program specifically focuses on the structural shell of your home. So that's going to be the windows themselves, insulation, air sealing, duct sealing, as well as ventilation. And so just to expand on the last three a little bit more, because I feel like most folks are pretty aware of energy efficient windows and insulation. Air sealing actually reduces the amount of air leakage that's kind of seeping through penetration points of your home. So that's going to be plumbing, ventilation, electrical wiring, and so forth. And duct sealing actually ensures that the hot or cold air traveling through your ductwork doesn't leak out through any holes or gaps or even duct registers as it travels through your home. So it's getting as much of that hot or cold air where it needs to go. And so once your home is bundled up tight with weatherization, you'll want to make sure you have proper ventilation as well, because especially in this area, condensation can occur. So we definitely factor that into our weatherization program as well. All right, next slide. So now that we know how weatherization prevents heating and cooling loss, which also means that it reduces your energy bill, if your home was built before 1990 and you're a customer that uses PSE gas or PSE electricity to heat your home, you may qualify for an instant weatherization rebate that can cover up to 50% of the project cost. So if you're only interested in duct sealing, we do allow homes built prior to 2001 to participate. So something to note there. And then also right now we are offering a limited time offer for our weatherization program where the rebate amounts are increased by 50% if you install your weatherization project by the end of 2022. So that's December 31st. So it's just something to be aware of. And I'll talk to how to get in touch with a contractor if that is something you're interested in. You might be thinking now like, okay, Megan, but where are the rebate amounts? That's a great question. Those are actually listed on our webpage. However, a good portion of our rebate amounts for weatherization are rebated per square foot. So really the rebate amount depends on the size of your home and the areas that are needed to be weatherized. And to really help you determine this and to ensure that your weatherization project is completed per industry standards, we actually do require that all of our weatherization rebate projects are completed by a PSE trade ally or a PSE recommended energy professional. And so these are contractors that are trained to follow our detailed specifications, and they're going to be able to identify what weatherization measures are needed. And they will actually provide you with an instant rebate for those as well. So that money is going to be taken off your contractor bill, and there's no filing of paperwork needed on your end. So you can request the contact information for your nearest recommended energy professional on our website. Over on the left here are a few links. We do have increased rebate amounts for income eligible customers via Efficiency Boost and our Weatherization Assistance Program. So if you think you might be eligible for either of those, I definitely encourage you to visit those web pages. In a little bit, Caleb's actually going to go over Efficiency Boost. But Efficiency Boost for our moderate income customers can cover a good portion of the project cost. And the Weatherization Assistance Program for low income customers can actually cover it will cover the full cost of your weatherization project. So definitely good resources. I encourage you to check those out as if they're applicable. All right, next slide. All right, and so up next, we're going to discuss energy efficient windows. Energy.gov actually reports that heat gain and heat loss through windows are responsible for up to 25% of residential heating and cooling energy use. So this is just a great example of how important that shell is of your home. And similar to the weatherization measures, your home needs to be heated with either PSE gas or PSE electricity in order to qualify for this rebate. And the rebate amount is per window, and it's actually based on both the pre-existing windows that are currently in your home, as well as the new windows U factor. And so you might be asking, well, what's a U factor? A U factor actually measures how well a product can stabilize the air temperature in a room. And so a lower U factor means greater stability. And that greater stability results in higher efficiency and the greater potential for energy savings. So you'll actually see the U factor rating on the National Fenestration Rating Council, or NFRC, those stickers that are on your new windows themselves, like they're on the glass panel. The U factor is also listed on the window packing slip that comes with your new windows. And so this is really important to know because on the next slide, you will see that we need proof of the new Windows U factor rating in order to apply for a Windows rebate. And so this chart here breaks down the pre-existing requirements and the U factor requirements per rebated amount. For our manufactured homes and our Efficiency Boost customers, those rebate amounts are actually doubled per window. Again, I would recommend exploring those web pages for more information to see if you qualify for those. And window rebates are actually not required to be completed by a PSE trade ally, but of course we do recommend using them since they are aware of the documentation requirements and they can ensure your application process goes smoothly. All right, and next slide. So we do have a quick quiz for you, a little pop quiz. What should you consider when upgrading your home's heating system? Home size, anticipated energy usage, number of jumping jacks you can do in 1 minute, home weatherization, or 1, 2, and 4. So I'll give you a minute to enter in your answers there. I also see that, yeah, we have a few questions coming in. I will make sure to address those at the end of the presentation as well. So thank you for entering those. I appreciate it. All right, and let's see what the results are. Oh, most of you did pretty good. We got 84% with the correct answer of 1, 2, and 4. Thank you all for participating in that. Looks like no one was really confident in the number of jumping jacks they could do, but that's okay. All right, so next slide. So again, 1, 2, and 4 is correct. When considering installing energy efficient heating, every home is going to be different based on these factors. Specifically weatherization, the levels of insulation, air sealing, and duct sealing can really impact the system. So you say, for example, you upgrade your to an energy efficient gas furnace, but if your ductwork has a bunch of like gaps and holes, you're not going to see as big of an impact because that efficient heat is now escaping to unwanted areas of your home. But say your home is weatherized and you know your anticipated energy use, you are ready to upgrade your heating system. And we do offer 5 different residential heating rebates, and I'll be going through each of them. And we, again, don't require that you use a PSE Trade Ally contractor to participate in the home heating rebates, but we are definitely going to recommend that you use a Trade Ally or recommended energy professional because they know all the requirements and they're going to make sure that your paperwork is complete, your application is all set. And if they're a recommended energy professional, that rebate's actually going to be instant. So again, it's a smaller bill for you right out the bat. All right, and next slide. So if you are currently using PSE electric resistance heating, so that's going to be baseboard heating, hydronic, cadet, or wall heaters, then you could qualify for a ductless heat pump rebate of $800 per home. And so the great thing about heat pumps is that they provide efficient heating and cooling, which is something that we are discovering that's needed these days. And they actually produce 3 times the amount of heat per watt used. So you're getting 3 times as much heat compared to your electric resistance. And they're crazy efficient. And there's no ductwork needed for these, so that they are really easy to install and they're actually very quiet. All right, and next slide. If you currently have an electric forced air furnace and you want to utilize that ductwork that's already in your home, you can upgrade to a ducted air source heat pump. Again, these heat pumps are much more efficient and they can provide both heating and cooling. And so the air source heat pump is going to be installed in lieu of your electric forced air furnace. Something I do want to note regarding those of you who are interested in switching from, say, like a gas furnace to a ducted heat pump. Unfortunately, current regulation does not yet allow us to incentivize fuel switching through energy efficiency. PSE is working with our regulators to try and bring them up to speed so that we can explore electrification efforts down the road. All right, and next slide. Last but not least, we do provide rebates for energy efficient furnaces, boilers, and integrated systems. This diagram on the right here just is a basic demonstration of the difference between low efficiency heating and hot water system, a hot water system versus the efficient integrated space and water heat system. Because I feel like furnace and boilers basically, speak for themselves. But this integrated system is essentially your tankless hot water heater working with your boiler to save energy. So definitely a great option there as well. All right, and next slide. So that basically sums up our weatherization and space heat portion of today's presentation. Again, I encourage you to check out the web pages listed here. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to throw those into the chat or the Q&A portion. My apologies. But for now, I'm going to actually hand you off to Jenna Haskins, our program manager for residential lighting.
Great, thanks, Megan. Hi, everyone. Like Megan said, I'm Jenna, and I am here to talk with you about LED lighting. Next slide, please. All right, we're going to start with a poll question. So I'd like to know, what do you think? Where can LED lighting be used in your home? 1, interior spaces, 2, garage, 3, outdoor spaces, or 4, all of the above? I'll give you a moment or two to select your answer. All right, let's see our results. Hey, okay, I couldn't trick you. Good job. So everybody knew that it's all the above. So good job, congratulations. Yes, so LED lighting can be used everywhere that you need a light source. Let's go to the next slide, please. So let's start by talking about what an LED is. So LED stands for light emitting diode, and that's an energy efficient light source that generates light from the movement of electrons through a semiconductor. What you really just need to know about LEDs is that it's an energy efficient quality light. We offer instant rebates through the PSE program on select fixtures that have integrated LEDs. And integrated means that within the fixture, the light source is already built in. So it's not something that has a screw-based light bulb that you can take out and replace. And LED fixtures come in a variety of different forms and functions. We're going to talk about a few of those today. Such as outdoor fixtures. There's security lighting that have features like motion sensors or dusk to dawn sensors. Those are really nice because you don't need to have a timer to be able to turn on and off your fixture outside. And especially as the daylight hours change and daylight savings time, it's kind of nice not having to remember to adjust the timer all the time. And then also decorative patio style string lights, kind of dress up your backyard, make that backyard a wonderful oasis for your parties and social events. Indoor fixtures. So of course you can have LED lighting in bedrooms and bathrooms. In bathrooms, it's quite popular above mirrors. So you can have vanity lighting, there's wall sconces, typical ceiling mount fixtures. There's even smart lighting. We've got an example here. On the slide, I have pictures of all the different things I'm talking about as examples, but you can see here one of them is highlighting a smart fixture. So you can have your Google Home Mini or your Alexa talk with your fixture. You can control the brightness or set different settings for, maybe while you're watching TV, you want the lighting a certain way. Or also a great one is if you're traveling, you can set it up so that your lighting will be will mimic what it would be if you were actually home, even though you're not away. So it's an added security fixture or feature. Of course, you can even get chandeliers that have integrated LEDs. And last on this page, we're also talking about garage or workshop fixtures, like the shop light that we have here, and that's really helpful for task lighting. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits of LEDs? Well, there's lots of them. Of course, we have the instant PSE discount, which is great. You don't have to fill out a rebate application or anything. It just happens right at the register when you make your purchase. LEDs help you to upgrade your home, and they save energy. They use about 80% less energy than a regular incandescent. If you use less energy, then you lower your bill. So that's a great benefit. Also, LEDs last longer than standard incandescent. They can last up to about 25 years longer. They're also environmentally friendly, which means that they can be disposed safely in the trash, as opposed to a CFL that has a little bit of mercury. So you have to make sure that you recycle that responsibly. Also, LEDs are instant on, instant off, and they can be dimmed. And those are characteristics that CFL bulbs struggled with. So LEDs are just great all around. Next slide, please. So let's talk about the instant discounts that PSE offers. Right now, through the end of the year, December 31st, 2022, we are offering an increased rebate of $15 off of outdoor LED fixtures. We have $5 off indoor LED fixtures, $5 off patio style LED string lights. And then for shop lights and the T8 retrofit bulbs, those each have a $2 discount. You can purchase up to 6 products with the rebate in any of these categories. So for example, you could get 6 strands of patio style LED string lights with the rebate. If you wanted to get more, 7 and above would be without the rebate. And to be eligible, you just have to be a residential electric PSE customer. Next slide, please. So where can you find these great rebates on LED lighting? So we have a marketplace, the PSE Marketplace at pse.com/marketplace. You can see on the slide here, I have some screen caps from the website. So you enter the marketplace with your PSE service zip code, the phone number you have on your My PSE account, and then your home heating method. And once you're there, you can shop all the great kinds of LED fixtures that are available with the instant rebate. Next slide, please. We also partner with many retailers in our service territory to offer our rebates instantly, such as Batteries Plus, Costco, Lowe's, the Home Depot, and Walmart. I have examples of our teal stickers that go next to the price tag, so you can see which of the fixtures qualify for the LED instant rebate from PSE. So I have examples of photos from in the store, so you can kind of see. They're small, but you can see in the photos kind of the teal stickers or the signage next to the price sign that lets you know which ones have the PSE rebate. Next slide, please. All right, well, I want to thank you guys so much for giving me some of your time today. If you want to learn more, you can go to pse.com/lighting or pse.com/marketplace. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm jenna.haskins@pse.com. And also you can put questions in the Q&A part of this WebEx or if this Zoom, and I'm happy to answer those at the end of the presentations. And I'll now pass it off to Caleb.
Hello, everyone. Again, hi, my name is Caleb Miller. I'm one of the senior energy advisors here at Puget Sound Energy. If you are calling in, trying to ask about rebates or things like that, one of my colleagues or I am likely to be the ones to answer your questions. So I'm going to just go over some of the things that we do and show you where you can find some of the things that we've been talking about so far. Let me go to the next slide, please. Okay. So first, I'm just going to go over where you actually go to actually apply for any of these rebates. If you've done any of this sort of work already, what I'm showing here is where you can actually find, if you're going to our rebates page, which is pse.com/rebates, it'll take you to this page labeled rebates and offers. And I also have some other helpful links in there for rebates page, the marketplace, and the contractors. Next slide, please. So this is lower down on the same page where you'll see the full list of all the different sorts of rebates that we have available. And then over on the right side of the screen, you'll also see some other important links. So there's income qualified higher rebates. Now it doesn't require your income does not make you ineligible for a rebate. However, if you are low to moderate income, you might qualify for a higher rebate than what otherwise might be available. There is also, of course, the contact information for the energy advisors there. So you can either use the contact us form if you want to send an email or give us a call at that phone number. And then there are the links to the PSE Marketplace if you're looking to get some of those LED fixtures, or if you're wanting to get a rebate on a smart thermostat, because those are available there as well. Next slide, please. So first, going over the efficiency boost program. So on this page, it gives you a full list of all the different rebates that we offer. And if they come in higher amounts based on income, you will see that displayed here. Like, for example, a gas forced air furnace that is 95% efficient. Normally, there would be a $700 rebate you could potentially qualify for. But if you meet the income qualifications, it could instead be $1,000. So $300 difference there as one example. And it does list all the income guidelines on here. So you can see if you would meet those. And if you don't, you can still get the regular rebate amounts, as I'd mentioned. And if you're doing this on your own, applying for a rebate afterwards, there's also, of course, the income qualification form that you can download. You simply will indicate that you meet the income qualifications, and you would include that alongside a rebate application for whatever equipment you're trying to get the rebate on. So next slide, please. Okay, and the next part of this, of course, is contractors. So often if you're getting the equipment, you'll need somebody who can help you to install it. So at pse.com/rep for representative, or in this case, recommended energy professionals, as we call them, we have a list of some contractors that would serve your area. You would indicate on this page, you would sign in to your PSE account online, and we can certainly help you with that if you have any issues with it. Or over the phone, we can actually generate a referral for you ourselves if doing it online is not working for you for whatever reason. And the recommended energy professionals are contractors who have been in business for at least 5 years. They've been through a 6-month vetting process with us, as well as some training, so that they are familiar with the rebates themselves. And they're actually permitted to provide rebates on our behalf up front as an instant discount. So you could get that rebate through the contractor without actually having to put in an application and wait for us to send you a check for anything. So multiple benefits there. Next slide, please. So sorry, I realized that was a little quick maybe, but I wanted to make sure we have enough time for Q&A here. Here we have some contact information for the energy advisors, as well as our hours. If you're wanting to reach out to us, we are always happy to help. Next slide, please. And I will be going ahead and passing things off back to Zach so that we can enter into our Q&A section.
All right, well, thank you, Megan, Jenna, and Caleb for that helpful information. And yeah, it looks like we do have some time for our Q&As. So I will go ahead and start that off. It looks like the first one here is from Andreas. It says, hi, thank you for this presentation. If you have time, could you address the government subsidies for heat pump driven water heaters, as well as suggestions on where to buy them? And I'll hand that over to Megan.
Oh, Megan, you're on mute.
Thank you. So heat pump water heaters, those are actually covered through a different program, but I can basically touch on the tax incentives, which are available now. I believe you can find that online. We do recommend talking to your local tax professional or whoever you work with to make sure you're utilizing those effectively. And then as far as the IRA rebates themselves, so those are actually being kind of organized at the state level. And so that's still with the state legislation. And so those haven't necessarily rolled out yet. And we are definitely, keeping our ear to the ground, and we will be sending out more information once we have a better idea of, how that's going to work. But that's still in the works.
I do have something I can add to that. So with the water heaters specifically, I'm not sure of, but with heat pumps for space heating, I am aware that those are planned to roll out in spring of 2023, I believe. And there are some rebates, or some tax incentives potentially available, which I should clarify are different than rebates. So they'll not be offered directly through PSE, but you can potentially get some tax incentives on those, and lower income customers can get higher incentives for those. But how exactly it's all going to pan out is going to be, it may be different than what is currently planned. So don't want to set too much in stone just yet.
Awesome, thank you. So it looks like we have another question that trickled in here from Chris. It says, does the weatherization work have to be completed by December 31st to qualify for the rebate, or is it sufficient just to have the contract executed with the contractor by that date?
a great question. For the limited time offer with the increased rebate amounts, it has to be completed and installed by December 31st. But we do have our standard weatherization rebates offered full year round. So if you aren't able to schedule, and you will still be able to qualify for the standard rebates come January and onward.
Sweet. And yeah, it looks like we got another one here from Cheyenne. It says, we have been told that PSE sends advisors to inspect the house and provide a free consultation. Caleb, do you want to?
Yeah. So we, up until the beginning of the pandemic, really, we did have a home energy assessment that we could do, where we could send somebody out to the house to take a look at it. Unfortunately, since the pandemic, we've had to close that program, not only because of the pandemic itself, but also just due to some difficulties with making the program cost effective. We can still, of course, go over everything over the phone with you, and we're happy to do so. Oftentimes, we're still able to find some solutions there. And if there's something specific you're looking at, for example, looking at wanting to find out if the installation in the home is good, then we can recommend installation contractors who could come out to take a look, let you know how much is in there currently, how much is sort of the standard, whether or not you might qualify for rebates on upgrading it, just as an example.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Yeah, it looks like we've got an anonymous attendee here that's asking, do the programs covered here being shared also apply to business owners that want to improve building insulation and windows/doors?
So this presentation itself is for residential customers. We do offer business energy efficient incentives, and there is a page on our website that I think it's like a tab, it's a drop down tab, and you can check out the energy efficiency options for business owners.
Awesome. Let's see here. Cheyenne wants to know, I did attic insulation in the spring this year, and her house was built in 1990, and I want to know, will they qualify for the rebate?
That would depend on whether or not they used a PSE recommended energy professional. We do require like a very thorough documentation process with lots of pictures, and so depending on whether or not your contractor has that information, you can definitely send me an email separately. We can chat through that. But if it was through a rep, then we can discuss adding that, because I know there's been some delays. Even though we normally try to encourage our applications to be submitted within 30 to 60 days after the work has been completed.
Awesome. Yeah, this next question kind of ties into that as well. Mandy's asking if the rebates and discounts can be applied retroactively. You know, if the work's already done, can we submit paperwork after the fact to recoup some of the money that we spent?
And yeah, yes and no, just depending on what what kind of project you've completed. Obviously, weatherization is very different. And again, we do try to really encourage that 30 to 60 day after installation. I would say it's much more difficult over 6 months. That goes through special review. So I would say the sooner the better. Anything, yeah, I see one that's like over 3 years ago, but that's for lighting. We can touch on that later. But I know, Caleb, did you have something to add?
No, I was just offering to take the question, but I think you covered it pretty well.
Awesome, thank you. Jeff here looks like wants to know if income disqualifies someone from the weatherization rebates.
Our standard rebates, no. But if you are qualifying for efficiency boost or the weatherization assistance program, those are determined by income. So in that sense, it would be a factor, but for our standard weatherization rebates, those are not income determined.
And I don't think we actually mentioned the weatherization assistance. I possibly should have. But there is assistance available for people who need help with getting a home better weatherized, but do not have the funds available to do so, even when accounting for the rebates that we offer. So if that's something that you may be interested in, that would be low income weatherization is what that's called. We work through some local agencies in order to do that. If you want to contact the energy advisors about that, we'd be happy to share more information at that time.
Sounds good. I think here's one maybe for Jenna. It looks like Brooke wants to know if LED ceiling fans are applicable for the rebate.
That's a great question. At this time, I can't think of any that are rebated on the program. Oftentimes, the LED ceiling fan fixture itself does not have the integrated LED source. Also, it has a different Energy Star certification spec that we use when we're looking for product eligibility. So no, not at this time. I can't think of any among the different retailers that we partner with.
Awesome, thank you. And Anne here, it looks like would like to know, we have CFL bulbs and ceiling lights that are seldomly used. Should we change those to LED or let them burn out and then change?
That's a great question. So CFLs are actually just as energy efficient as LEDs. So if you're thinking about energy savings and like the impact to your bills, LED and CFL are very comparable. Now the difference is, I think, your experience with the light. CFLs take time to warm up and turn on to full brightness. So you probably notice when you turn on your light, it takes a while until your room gets fully bright. And then same thing too, when you turn them off, they kind of have a moment where they kind of power down. Also, if you have like a lamp that you would prefer to dim, many CFLs don't offer the ability to dim. So there's just certain qualities and characteristics of bulbs that have improved with the LED technology. But if you are happy with the experience that you're getting with CFLs, then the energy savings side of it is comparable to LED. Great question.
Awesome. All right, it looks like Troy here would like to know, if work isn't done, but the process started before December 31st, will the rebate still apply? I think we kind of touched on that earlier. So let's see. Looks like M. Jackson here would like to know if how income is verified, if they need to submit tax forms.
So for the efficiency boost, as far as income verification, up front, we just want you to fill out the income qualification form, which if you're applying for it yourself, you'll include that with your application. If you're working with a contractor, they will most likely provide that to you to have you fill it out so that they'll have that on file. Part of the signing of that is that we are permitted to request further information if we deem it necessary, which we don't always do. Just like we will sometimes request verification of certain installation of equipment, just on a random basis to make sure that everybody is generally doing what falls within the program guidelines. So short answer, no. Slight answer, maybe if we need to. But if we need to, we'll ask and we'll let you know what is needed.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it looks like John Robinson would like to know here, for the window replacement, is there a program for seniors regardless of income? And wants to also know if the rebates qualify for wood windows that are currently double paned.
Yes, so we don't currently have like a senior program specifically, but as far as a wooden frame double pane window, in order to qualify, you would have to install new energy efficient windows with the U factor rating of 0.22 or lower. And I would again recommend checking out the website. There's a page with like a link to example documentation of everything that we would need for those, because the application process can be a little bit tedious on that one. So
Mostly we just need a little bit more documentation. But like, as I've said multiple times before, we're always happy to help you out should you have any issues with any of these rebates.
All right. And we have another anonymous attendee here that would like to know how you would find out if you qualify for the new Windows rebates. They're saying that my windows are double pane and aluminum framed.
okay, so yeah, again, those ones, if anything double paned, you're going to need to upgrade to a U factor rating of 0.22 or lower. I know everyone has like different current windows, and so there's actually like a matrix on the Windows web page where you can kind of find your pre-existing and then see, you know, what's needed in order to qualify. So I'd recommend everyone double check that before pursuing your Windows project.
All right. Got a question here from Rich, who wants to know if gas water heaters are more efficient than tankless water heaters.
Well, a tankless water heater can also run on gas potentially. When it comes to tankless water heaters, just generally what we recommend is that they are better for homes with fewer people living in them, or with lower water usage, because they use little to no gas or electricity whenever they are idling, because they don't have to keep a tank warm, but they use more energy during the times when they're actively running. So if there are 5 or 6 people in the home, we probably wouldn't recommend a tankless water heater for energy efficiency purposes. But if you are, one person who, is out of the home most of the day, doesn't use a whole lot of hot water, that would be a situation where a tankless water heater could certainly save you some energy. And also there's just the convenience of having the hot water get to where you need it a little bit early, a little bit sooner.
Awesome. Let's see here. Looks like we've got a few more minutes for questions. Judy would like to know, my older home built in the 1960s with a garage has no insulation, and what can I do to insulate? The roof doesn't not have an attic area, only the framing, sheeting, and roofing. They want to know if they can insulate the walls without having to put wallboard or something like that over the insulation.
That's a great question. Out the bat, I would caution. So we offer weatherization rebates for living spaces. So if your garage, say, like you changed it into a guest room or an activity area, that would qualify if it's already in use. But if you're converting a garage to something and that's why you're insulating it, it wouldn't qualify for a rebate. But I would say that you'd have to double check with the recommended energy professional on how they would want to install the insulation, but you could definitely qualify for air sealing. So again, I would recommend reaching out to the recommended energy professionals, because they're going to know the ins and outs and all the technical specs of your install.
One possibility for the adding wall insulation is they can do blown in insulation, which would mean that you wouldn't have to, pull off all the siding or knock down any walls and put them back up, if the home is well suited to that. But as Megan said, if you are simply if you're working with a contractor or a recommended energy professional, they should have some recommendations for you if they are able to come out to the home, see what they can do.
Sounds good. Looks like yeah, we've got some more questions coming in here. And Stuart would like to know if you need to wait until 1/1/23 to receive those tax credits, which I think we kind of went over earlier. So looks like Allison would like to know, they bought a house 3 years ago that was built in 1974. They put in a new furnace, but their energy bill was still running around $500 in the winter. And they think the house needs new insulation in the walls and ceilings. Is there a company you can recommend or any rebates? Thank you.
Well, short answer, yes. You can go to pse.com/rep if you want to get a contractor recommendation, or you can contact a you can contact one of the energy advisors. We'll be happy to get the referral for you there, and you could potentially get some rebates depending on the insulation that's currently present. And hopefully we can do something to help you bring that energy bill down.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see here. I think
there's one that I would like to address, if that's okay. There's one from an anonymous attendee. It's asking about the efficiency boost program, saying what do the different columns mean? There's column 1 through column 5 and what those mean. The numbers on the columns are referring to the number of people that live in the home. And so if it's a 1-person household, you count the gross annual income for that one. If it's 2 people, it's combined for both of them at a higher level, etc. And we do actually need to get the website updated to clarify that a little bit better. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Caleb. It's good info. Kathy would like to know if there's an online info or place on which weatherization improvements helps the most. For example, attic insulation versus floor or walls.
That's a really good question. No, not currently. And again, I think like the best resource is going to be reaching out to a recommended energy professional or trade ally, because every home is different. You know, if you have a 2-story home versus a 1-story home, you know, what kind of heating system you're using, all of that kind of plays into your game plan for weatherization. So that's why we kind of recommend you reaching out, and the contractors will come out to your home, do a free assessment, and let you know what would be the best options. You can prioritize as needed as well.
Awesome. All right, looks like Lynn here would like to know, they have TPU for electricity, Tacoma Public Utilities, and PSE for gas, and they want to know if they would still qualify for those rebates.
I think it depends on which rebates. So for lighting, if you are a PSE electric customer, that's the qualification. I think she said TPU for electric. So no for the LED rebates.
Weatherization, it's based on what weatherization windows and space heat. It depends on what you're using to heat your home. So we focus on the heating side of things. So if you're using PSE, if it was gas or electricity to heat your home, then you would qualify.
All right. It says here, Velen would like to know if tankless water heaters work best with electric or gas.
Generally speaking, they'll be a little more cost effective with gas, partially because gas is a cheaper fuel, but also because the gas is just able to heat the water very quickly, a little bit more easily than the electricity can. That's part of why we currently offer rebates on gas tankless water heaters, but not currently for electric tankless water heaters.
All right, and looks like another question here from Brooke that would like to know, they had a contractor install a new heat pump water heater this last spring, and how can they snatch that rebate?
As Megan had mentioned on a previous question, I believe, if it's been that long, there's a chance we might not be able to approve it. But if in any case where you've purchased a heat pump water heater, if it's one of the qualifying models that you could have potentially purchased from a Home Depot or Lowe's, which is how those particular rebates are applied. If you contact an energy advisor, we can try to get you a rebate form and you can try applying for it. We can't make a guarantee that it will qualify, but if you want to give it a try, you certainly can, and we'll see what we can do.
Awesome. And Josephine here would like to know, does PSE work with programs like Habitat for Humanity? Their home was built in 1952 and need all of the programs.
Well, I don't think we work specifically with Habitat for Humanity, but we do work with agencies like them in different areas. Like depends on the county. We have like the Community Action Council, the Opportunity Council, and things like that. And there are also programs like it for assistance with the bills, although for billing assistance, that'd be more of a question for our customer care center. It's our sort of our main call center. But we do have a program for assistance for weatherization, as I previously mentioned.
All right. And I think we've got time for one or two more questions here. Looks like Devin would like to know if, wants to know, don't some of the major tax credits for weatherization and energy efficiency from the Inflation Reduction Act start in 2023?
Yeah, I think we've gone over most of that already, but short answer, yes. Spring 2023 is when most of that is slated to begin. But we will hopefully be seeing some more details and some more solid information on that soon. One thing that I do want to address right now is somebody just posted, said I randomly smell faint scents of natural gas in my house. Does PSE have any suggestions of who could look into a possible leak? That would be our customer care center. And I would actually recommend that if you've been smelling natural gas in your home, you would want to call them pretty much right now, because that's something that we take very seriously as potential emergency situation. And that number would be 888-225-5773. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat for everybody. So if you smell gas, call us right away, because that is not a situation that you want to, that's not a situation where you want to delay on taking care of that. We will send somebody out immediately. So I just put that in the chat, 888-225-5773. Nope, I sent that to one person. I'll put that for everyone now.
Awesome, thank you, Caleb. And with that, I think that wraps up our Q&A for today. So if there is additional questions, please reach out to us. You can find our information listed here, and we'd be more than happy to assist you with your questions. And yeah, thank you for attending today. Look out for that event survey after, and thank you. Your emails and winners will be contacted later on today or tomorrow.